all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Good morning. You're listening to the Daily Morning Update from Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 13th of December. Shaktikanta Das took charge of the Reserve Bank of India in unusual style yesterday. He made the announcement on his Twitter handle. In direct contrast with the approach used by his predecessor, he then proceeded to host a press conference where he fielded questions on a range of issues, not least of which concerned the autonomy of the RBI. When pressed on whether the RBI's independence has been compromised in the recent standoff with the government, Das said that every institution had its autonomy but also had to be accountable. For everything that he said and more on the subject of his appointment, do look up the website bloombergquint.com. Meanwhile, Fitch Ratings has said that the resignation of Urjit Patel as Reserve Bank of India governor highlights the risks of increased government influence on the central bank, which in turn could undermine the efforts to address the bad loan problem. On to news on the economy. India's industrial production growth rose sharply in October, getting a boost from demand ahead of the festival season. IIP rose 8.1% over the last year in October, compared with a revised 4.5% growth in July. That's the fastest rate of growth since November 2017. Economists polled by Bloomberg were anticipating a 6% growth. Consumer price inflation fell to its lowest in 17 months in November as food prices continued to decline and as crude oil prices, which have come down, brought fuel inflation lower. Retail inflation stood at 2.33% in November compared with 3.31% in October. This too was lower than consensus estimates, which stood at 2.56%. In other news, the SEBI, whose board met to discuss a range of measures yesterday, is looking to tighten risk management framework for liquid and money market schemes of mutual funds. These schemes have witnessed significant volatility in inflow and outflow in the last few months, primarily due to overnight funds being parked in the money market. The market regulator at its board meeting approved a slew of measures ranging from clubbing foreign portfolio investment limits and allowing mutual funds to segregate illiquid and distressed assets. Further, it is probing how 3 credit rating agencies failed to spot stress in infrastructure leasing and financial services, or IL&FS, and kept giving it the highest ratings till it started defaulting on debt. In international news, there's a big update from the US. Michael Cohen, who long kept President Donald Trump's business and personal secrets, is headed to prison, pledging that he will continue to spill potentially damaging information to special counsel Robert Mueller and other prosecutors. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison on Wednesday in a courtroom appearance in which he spoke with audible emotion, surrounded by family and in tones that are sharply critical of the president. Look at news from Europe today. The European Central Bank, led by Mario Draghi, is widely expected to end its 2.6 trillion euro stimulus today. He will also likely face questions on how the ECB plans to reinvest maturing bonds acquired as part of his central bank's 4-year stimulus package. In other news, Theresa May survived an attempt to oust her as UK Prime Minister yesterday, but the size of the rebellion against her weakens her position at a critical time as she tries to steer the UK out of the European Union. Conservative Party members of Parliament backed her by 200 to 117 in the secret ballot. In international markets, US stocks ended higher, with the tech-heavy Nasdaq gaining the most and ending higher by nearly 1%. In Asia this morning, the early risers have started the session positive. The Nikkei in Japan had gains of about 0.5% last I checked. With that, it's over to Darshan Mehta for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Darshan. How is it looking for India this morning?
Hi Alex, good morning everyone. The global cues are positive at this point of time. Crude and metals are trading muted, but the SGX Nifty is trading with a positive bias. In terms of stocks that you need to watch out for Yes Bank. The all-important board meet is there today to shortlist names for a new chairman for RBI approval and also consider the appointment of independent directors. Even there is a board meet of Indian Oil Corp that will meet for decision on a buyback. Lupin announces that the European Union's General Court upholds the European Commission's decision decision for a litigation, the company is liable to pay a fine of 40 million euros. The company said that they will study the order and then evaluate a further course of action. Bandhan Bank will be in focus. The RBI allows the bank to open new branches. The bank was earlier debarred by the RBI for opening new branches. Sadbhav Engineering gets an order from NHAI worth almost 981 crores. It's an EPC order. Sorrel Infra Resources said that the company has initiated the process to foray into financial services business with the primary focus in rural India. In terms of some of the brokerages, HSBC has initiated on GSPL with a target price of 152. They believe that despite positive tariff revision, they see earnings decline in FY20. Morgan Stanley has upgraded Interglobe Aviation to an overweight from equal weight. The target price has been hiked to 1311 from 790. They see competitive position has strengthened in the recent down cycle, and they see signs of receding cost headwinds in with rising yields. And finally, Macquarie has said that on Ujjivan Financial, they believe that the improving business fundamentals are being overlooked, and they think there is a case for a stock to double in the next 3 years. But there's much more you need to know before trade actually starts. For that, log on to our website bloombergquint.com and click on the All You Need to Know tab, and you'll be prepared for morning trade.
Thanks, Darshan, and thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you could listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.